Hello, everyone. The new chapter's out. What did we get? Sukuna Itadori is catching crayfish and talking about life. They discuss Itadori's past, and basically this chapter is just Naruto therapy. But alas, this is not Naruto, and there will be no peaceful resolution here. This chapter answers some questions. This chapter isn't about fighting and battling, it's about a heartfelt conversation between the main character and the main villain. Well, let's start at the very beginning of their heart-to-heart talk. As we know, they start at the station, and that's where the new chapter starts. Sukuna really doesn't understand what it is and wonders if it's this brat's domain. But the protagonist tells him to shut up and go with him to talk. When they enter the underground passage, Todor starts talking about his childhood, namely that he was born in Sendai and lived here when he was only 7 years old until he moved back because of his grandfather's job. He also says, he came back here 10 years later to attend the funeral of his grandfather's friend. And he wondered in that moment if that person would have come to the funeral if his grandfather had died first. Sukuna loses even the gift of speech because of such statements from Itadori. Then they come to the playground, where Itadori begins his story. All the playground equipment was removed here because my foot got stuck in the swing. At that moment I thought I was going to die, but I also had thoughts that there was nothing more I could do about it. I also here dropped my slime in the sand and tried to wash it off, but when it leaked into the sink, I cried. Then Yuchi starts talking about the flower, and Theodori says it's an ipomea, but Sukuna in turn says, it's a hydrangea. And Theodori is surprised that Sukuna knows the name of the flower, but Sukuna says that he probably knows the name from Megumi's memories. And Theodori realizes that Sukuna must know these places since he was in his body, to which Sukuna replies that he can't read all the memories in small details. Then the funniest thing that happened in this chapter is when Itadori crafts a fishing rod and says, "Do you want to go crayfish fishing with me?" The strongest mage can't even catch a crayfish. They caught a crayfish each, and they got into an argument. Sukuna says, "I have a bigger crayfish than you, so it's better." Itadori says, "No, I have Japanese cancer, it's rare, and you have American cancer, it's everywhere." But once the argument started, it was over. Apparently, everyone had their own opinion. Then they come to the department store, and Theodori says that it opened when I was only 5 years old. And because of that, all the other shops went bankrupt. And I was really sad that the shopping district was closed. But I've forgiven them because they also had a movie theater. Overall, if you walk around a bit, you can get out of the city and see a lot of greenery. And Itadori says, "Don't worry." To which the king replies that he hasn't worried about anything since the beginning. "I used to catch locusts in these rice fields here, but lately I've stopped seeing them." Then there's a sudden frame change. It's snowing, and we see Itadori sipping hot tea. He says he likes to drink hot tea on days like this. He also says that on Christmas Day, he heard the sound of bells at night and believed that Santa really existed, but it was just a car. But at this point, Sukuna has a logical question. "Why are you telling me all this? Get to the point." So he goes on, "Until recently, I thought that understanding and fulfilling one's role was the way to live one's life. And when I died fulfilling my role, I thought I died right then. But now I think differently. Your role can be anything. You can walk the dog, have a family, or just sleep, be bedridden with an illness, not socialize with anyone, and leave nothing behind." Itadori's point is that a person's life doesn't have to have a great purpose to have any meaning. There will always be memories of that person. Even it's not about how the person died. You can't forgive those who act as if that value doesn't exist. People are not tools. Therefore, our roles are not defined from the beginning. Also, Itadori added at the end that he doesn't like Sukuna, and that good or bad, we can't tell if either of them are truly human. "That's why I hate you. I might even be wrong. But that's why you can't find value in people other than yourself." To which Sukuna replies, "I don't feel anything. I understand everything you're trying to tell me, but even after that, I don't feel anything. It's a lot like you accepting the decline of the city by saying, 'I guess it must be like that.'" And Itadori says, "Alas, I have failed. I am struck by your cowardice. Your anger and hatred towards me were, to that extent, strong." Sukuna started to realize that he was being stung, and with the words, "You pity me, you are trying to sympathize with me." Itadori's eyes become combative again, and he is ready to tear and throw again. And says, "That's right, Sukuna, I feel sorry for you. I have the power to kill you. Let Fushiguro go, and if you come back to me, I'll spare your life." Sukuna replies that he won't just kill Itadori, he'll kill everyone he loves and values right in front of him. Wow! Gentlemen, there's some serious Suruba coming up that should put an end to this battle. Well, This chapter wasn't about the battle, it wasn't about the feud, and most of it was a heart-to-heart talk between the protagonist and the main villain. A clash of two worldviews, two opposites, but neither side can accept the other. He doesn't care about other people's problems, he'll do anything for his own pleasure. But Itadori wants to understand Sukuna and try to find a ray of light in Sukuna's dark soul. But as we could already understand, Itadori has failed. Which means, uncle, get ready, the battle is coming. But most importantly, Itadori is back from where he came from. Sukuna will not come under Italy's control, which means the battle continues. There are some questions not answered in this chapter, like the name of Itadori's RT. And if there are any RTs at all, where are they located? It's unclear to me, but still, I think it's Sukuna and Itadori's pre-death state. They are both either on the verge of death, or the author decided to make a little branching so that these two try to find some common ground and try to negotiate and solve everything peacefully. But, as I said above, there will be no peaceful resolution, so the fight continues, and who will emerge victorious cannot be determined. It seems that Sukuna is about to die, but he always finds a way out of a situation, and perhaps here will be the same scheme. He will be able to think of something or dodge like a snake, or it's the end for him, because I do not see other options. Also, the author is taking a break, and we will have to wait for a new chapter to be released to get answers to our questions. Well, the video has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and write comments. I'll be interested in reading them. See you in the next video.